Hello? What's going on, guys? I'm sorry about that. I was just having trouble with the mic, but it looks like it's working now. This is Passion, and we are going to be casting a Alpha Team League match between Psionic Aftermath and Daily Life. So we are already in the lobby for the first game, and we're just waiting for the players to ready up. It's going to be a Protoss versus Zerg on Overgrowth. So Alpha Team League is a free league. It's not for money or anything. It's just for fun. If you want to look at the standings and the teams and everything, it's the website is alpha.tl. So TL stands for Team League. So it's alpha.tl. And we're actually pretty far along in the tournament, like about 8 or 9 weeks or something. There's only like 2 weeks left, I think. And I believe Forsaken is going to come cast with me, but he wasn't sure if he was going to be able to or not, so if he wants to join in at any point, that may happen. So again, we are in the first lobby, in the first game lobby, just waiting for the players to ready up. It's a best of 5 and it's Pro League format. Alright, both players are ready, so the countdown has begun. Again, this is a Protoss versus Zerg on Overgrowth. Hey, what's going on, Sushi? Hello, Sin SC2. Thank you for stopping by. Or Sync SC2. Sorry for misreading that. Again, this is a best of 5 first game. In the top right-hand corner, we have the Red Zerg from Psionic Aftermath. His name is Didolki, I guess. I don't know how to pronounce it, but Didolki. I'm doing my best. In the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Teal Protoss from Daily Life. His name is Apex. So Overgrowth is not in the current ladder map pool. Alpha Team League likes to use older maps, which is pretty cool. You know, just a little change from the daily ladder, just to kind of mix things up a bit. Little denial on the hatchery there. Gonna throw down a pylon. Zerg will probably move over here to drop his hatchery, but he does drop a pool. Oh, he actually canceled it, and the drone went back to check to see if it got canceled, and it did. So he just built it at the normal spot. Meanwhile, next is first for the Protoss, it looks like. And gateway here at the low ground. Probe scouting around for a third. Dropping his second gate. And it looks like he's going to drop a pylon right there, which would close it off with with an addition of a zealot right here. That would be a full wall off. Getting his first queen, has a couple zerglings out on the map, and going to be taking his third hatchery. Mothership core is about out. Got his cyber core going with warp gate. Two adepts being chrono boosted, so he's probably going to send them across the map to do some drone harass, because with two adepts you can one hit drones. So we'll see how many drones he gets. Should be able to get a couple at least before they go down. But of course, it is scouted by the Zerg has control of both watchtowers, and he does have speed now with 8 Zerglings. So I mean, I don't think this will do too much at all. He's actually going to try and shade back, but they get a full surround and immediately taken out. So they don't get any drones at all. He's starting his glaive adept, his glaives upgrade, and dropping down 3 more gateways. So it looks like this is gonna be like a strong adept push or timing. No robo yet for a warp prison though, so oh man, just barely doesn't get this Overlord. The Overlord lives, but okay, he's gonna warp into Stalker. He'll be able to get it with the Mothership core for vision, and it looks like he's gonna try and take his third. But with the Zergling here, he'll probably be able to scout it. Yep, definitely sees that as soon as it goes down. Zerglings here are gonna try and deny on the third, but units are in position to deal with that. Oh, I didn't notice there was a Zergling drop in the main, and 9 probes have gone down. I'm sorry for missing that. And at the same time, he's going to be sending some Zerglings here at the third to try and deny. He'll probably get a cancel on this Nexus. There's too many Zerglings here. He won't be able to react in time. And in fact, he's just moving across the map. The thing is that he doesn't have a forward pylon or a warp prism or anything to continue any harass, so he's pretty much all in right now. Dolki does have plenty of banelings to deal. Oh my god, and the shade in right on top of the banelings. Man, that is unlucky. And he's just gonna GG out after that. Wow. Yeah, it was just unfortunate timing for him. The Adept shaded right on top of all the banelings just as they were morphing in. So that is really unfortunate for him, but that will be game 1, and Psionic Aftermath will go up 1-0. Let's see, the next map is going to be Frozen Temple. And it looks like it's going to be another ZVP. So this is Pro League format. It's not all kills, so you're going to see a different person each game from each team. So we got the next lobby set up. It's going to be a ZVP on Frozen Temple. Just waiting for one of the players to join in. Alright, both players are ready. Countdown has begun. So this map is from a couple seasons ago. I don't think we have any ladder maps in this series. The maps are preset before the match has even started. They're pre-selected. So, and I don't believe we have any maps from this ladder season. I think next one's going to be Frost, and I think the fourth one is Coda, and then the fifth one, if we go to an ace match, is Galactic Process. Or no, I'm sorry. The fifth one is King Sejong Station. So another older map. Alright, so in the bottom right hand corner of the map, we have the player coming out for Psionic Aftermath, the purple Zerg. His name is Viper. And in the top left-hand corner, we have the green Protoss coming out from Daily Life Esports Club. His name is Annihilator. Gonna start his wall down on the low ground, which is very common in this matchup. And they're gonna be going for a hatch first. So Nexus first, and he's going to be sending a probe across the map to scout. He's going to see that it's a hatch first, so nothing too alarming. No crazy cheese. Protoss getting his second gas and second gateway. Assuming he's going to drop his cyber core. And there it is. Zergling's coming in. There's no Zealot in place. Oh wow, so 2 Adepts are going to be chrono boosted immediately. But there's absolutely no units so far to deal with this. He's going to lose a lot of probes. 3 so far. And having to bring down probes from the main base. He's going to probably be able to hold this now that the Adepts are out, but he's lost 8 probes in total. But back home, Viper has not been droning, of course, because he built Zerglings, so the worker count is 21 to 15. So, I mean, Protoss is still good, though. Protoss is still good. He's ahead on workers. And he's got 2 Adepts across the map. He's probably going to try and pick some drones off if he can. Looks like he'll get a couple Zerglings, but we'll end up saving one of those Adepts. And he's going to be droning up, trying to catch up on workers. Viper is going to be taking his 3rd hatchery. And just continuing to drone up. Protoss has a Twilight Council. Probably will drop a Robo as well here shortly. Zergling poking the front to try and scout, sees a bunch of Adepts, so kind of has an idea of what he's going to be up against. Two Evo Chambers going to be starting range. Oh no, I'm sorry, cancels that and starts his melee. Zerglings actually get into the main, just as the Adepts shade to the 3rd. So he's getting caught out of position, going to lose a ton of probes. Warping in an Adept in the main base, but overall losing 13, 16, oh man, 18, 19 probes. Wow, talk about timing right there. Just as the Adepts were over by the third, the Zerglings come in, and he'll be able to kill all the Zerglings now, so he'll hold that for now, but he did lose about 20 probes. So the worker count is 28 to 48. And Protoss is going to be sending some Adepts across the map. There's an Overlord right at the front ramp of Annihilators, so he probably saw those Adepts shade out, and he knows this is coming. But there's not a whole lot for the Zerg. There's just a handful of Lings here. He probably could use some Banelings. I'm not sure if there's a Baneling nest. It's only halfway done actually. So he's actually going to be able to get some damage done himself, losing 3 drones so far. These Zerglings are all going to go down eventually. They do some decent damage, but they're not going to be able to hold this. He's not going to be able to hold this without Banelings. He's killed a few Depths. More Zerglings being made. Looks like he'll use the drones and might eventually be able to hold this off without actually morphing any Banelings, but I mean at a huge cost. He's lost 5 drones, and he lost a few drones. I'm not sure. Is that right? 5 drones in total? That's actually not too bad. But the Protoss has been churning up like a probing up like a madman off of 3 Nexus, and he's actually ahead on workers, 51 probes to 44 drones. And it looks like Zerg wants to counterattack. Catching a few Adepts here. Adept's going to be shading across the map, or no, he cancels the shade, and he defends this little aggression here. So looks like this game's gonna normalize and get into a mid/late game scenario. Interesting. One thing Zerg has going for him is he is ahead on upgrades. Protoss has not even started any upgrades at all, and Zerg already has +1/+1 for his melee units. Oh wow, okay, so Protoss is going to be sending Adepts across the map again, and Banelings are being morphed this time, but they're just now starting, so Adept's going to be able to do some damage before the Banelings get done. Killing, oh wow, 10 drones in total so far. Shading into the natural, Banelings come in, and gonna clean this up. Not completely even, there's some Adepts left over and more Zerglings being made. Gonna have to use his drones again, losing a total of 23 drones, wow. So this Adept pressure doing a whole lot. Actually the worker count is insane. It's 75 probes to 37 drones. This is looking pretty grim for Viper. And even he has the Warp Prison now, and more Adepts right outside the base of the Zerg player. He has an Overlord here. He sees everything. Looks like Viper was just caught off guard with the Adept pressure. He didn't expect it. He was a little underprepared, and Annihilator just kept sending Adepts across the map, like making it pretty much snowball out of control. This is going to be real tough for Viper to be able to hold and actually come back from this. He's got a Hydralisk then, halfway finished. Yeah, Nicholas Worms in the chat, talking about Viper in the chat. That might be true, but there is a 2-minute delay, so it's not like there's no possible way of stream cheating or anything like that. So no need to worry about that. Meanwhile, Dep's here at the 4th base, gonna kill all these drones. Another 20 drones going down in total. Worker count is 84 to 30. I'm pretty sure Viper's gonna GG here shortly. Unless he just thinks that, like, he doesn't know exactly how far behind he is. Hydras are out now. He actually has a decent amount of banelings here with the Hydras. Man, but there's so many Adepts. There's just so many Adepts, I don't think he's going to be able to hold this. And with like really good baneling hits, he still wasn't able to hold that, and he's going to GG out. So that will even up the score 1-1. Pretty impressive play there from Annihilator. Despite losing all those probes at the beginning of the game, he was still able to come back and win the game. So let's look at the next game. It's going to be Frost, and it looks like it's a TVZ. Again, this is a best of 5, so, and all these maps are preset. Oh, okay, actually, okay, actually, their 3rd player was not able to play. He didn't show up for the match, so they're going to be taking a walkover for Game 3, which means it'll be 2-1 now for Psionic Aftermath. Yeah, the way this league works is that you have to have a lineup submitted for the match 15 minutes before the match. Otherwise, the point is a walkover. So the next match is going to be a PV random, actually. Looks like he's random on the website. So just give us a moment while we get the lobby set up and get these next players in here. Alright, we've got the lobby set up, both players in here, just waiting for them to ready up, and should get started here shortly. Yep, Jin was originally supposed to be the third player for us, but since their player didn't show up, we just skipped that match, and they get a walkover. Or we get a walkover, sorry, I said that wrong. But we are into the fourth game now, so this will be match point. If we win this game, then we take the series, and if they win this game, then it goes to an ace match, which will be on King Sejong Station. Alright, so in the top left-hand corner, we have the red Protoss coming out from Psionic Aftermath. His name is Kingslayer. And in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the player coming out from Daily Life. The blue Zerg, his name is New Meta Noob. So this is a very old map. In fact, it's not even been used on Legacy of the Void once. It's from Heart of the Swarm. Which means the bases have significantly more minerals at the base than in Legacy of the Void, because they made Legacy of the Void have less minerals per base to incentivize more frequent expansions. But since this is the Heart of the Swarm map, it has more minerals per base, so they won't have to expand as much, as fast, or as often. It looks like Protoss has gone for Nexus first, building his gateway at the low ground. Zerg has also gone for a hatch first, pool about halfway done. Second gateway about halfway done and getting his cyber core, double gas in the main. And his Nexus is now finished. Wow, a super fast layer off of one gas. This is like some crazy stuff, but there is a probe coming to try and scout. It just passed underneath the Overlord, so the Zerg player knows about it. He's gonna try and scout for a third hatchery. He sees that there's nothing there yet. I wonder if he'll try and get into the main. No, he's gonna turn around. I have a feeling there's gonna be some like really weird stuff, like a Nidus or something. Lair's finished, and Infestation Pit is going down. What if he starts a hive as soon as that's done? Dude, I'd lose my mind. A hive by 4 minutes. Protoss getting his robo and a couple sentries. Sentries won't do too well if there's a Nidus though, but no Nidus yet, unfortunately. So the infestation pit is done. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't have the production tab up. Oh, there is a Nidus going down. It just went down. Oh man. Protest has a probe at the watchtower. Unfortunately, that's not going to prepare him for a Nidus. So there are 2 overlords outside of the Protoss base. So there are options for him on where to start his Nidus. If he started it over here, there's a good chance it won't be seen. If he started it like right here, but there's nowhere in the natural he could start it where it won't be seen on the map. And these pylons are in good position, even though he's probably not going to start it near over there. The only place he could start the Nidus where it won't be shown on the map is like right here. Even if it's right here, I think he'll probably be able to see it on the map. Yeah, he starts it here a little bit too far forward, unless maybe he wasn't able to do it that close to the edge. But it is shown on the map, and I'm thinking, well, he definitely sees it now. Swarm hosts and 5 queens. The one thing about Swarm hosts is that they'll do some damage. That's not going to be able to kill the Nexus, I don't think. They'll do some damage and then they'll die off, and then the Swarm hosts have like a pretty crazy cooldown. Wow, the Nexus did go down. Holy crap. Man, Locusts are strong. Over another Immortal coming out. There's no Observer to kill the creep. But there's a third Nexus. And there's another Nidus going down at the 3rd base. Oh man, this army getting caught by the Locusts. And 11 probes going down. Is this Nexus? No, not Nexus is not going to go down. But the Zerg player is only on 2 bases. And there's another Nidus going down in the main base. So it's 2 base versus 2 base. 29 probes to 36 drones. Swarmers are coming in here, but their cooldown is not ready yet. Okay, now it's ready, and now they will. Man, Swarmers are pretty good units. Need something with splash to deal with this, like Colossus. Another Nidus going down by the 3rd, but perhaps Kingslayer has caught up on this pattern here. He preemptively started to move his army down here. Man, this is definitely going to kill the Nexus. Yep, he focuses it down. So gets a Nexus for free. And yep. So now Protoss is down to 1 base. And another knight is going down in the main. I don't even know like how you're supposed to like react to this. I mean, if I were him, I'd probably like just once I have a decent army like now, instead of fighting the Locust, just go across the map. He doesn't have too much. Now he has lurkers out, but how long have they been there? If he had just countered right off the bat, like as soon as the very first Nexus went down, like yeah, just sack the Nexus and move across the map because he won't have any units and the Swarm host will be on cooldown. So I guess that's probably the best thing to do. but it's so hard to tell when you're in the game, you know. It looks like he's going to be counterattacking now, but let's see. There's no observer with the army, so we won't be able to get detection for the lurkers. And there are hydras at home anyway. This is not looking too good for Kingslayer. And Zerg's going to be throwing down a third hatchery in the bottom left-hand corner. Lurkers are burrowing at the natural. An observer here now, so he will get detection for the lurkers, but not without taking a bunch of damage. And the swarm hosts are here now, so Protoss's nexus has gone down, so he is on no nexus. He's going to be revealed here shortly. But he actually has a chance to finish this. I mean, this army is kind of scary if he runs away from the locusts. If he makes the locusts like if he makes the Zerg player hoist his locust, he could kill this hatchery. I don't know. It's going to be hard to get away from here, though. I don't think he's going to be able to run away. This army is probably going to go down now. Kingslayer is going to GG out, so that will tie up the score to 2-2, and we'll have to bring out an ace player. So just give us a moment, and we'll get the fifth and final game started. So our fifth player is finishing up a ladder game, so it should just be a moment. No, Guitar G's unfortunately is at work tonight. He won't be able to play. But Jin was our third player, so he was gonna play that third set if it hadn't been a walkover. So we're gonna have him come out as our ace. So Jin hasn't replied to me yet, but he's in game, and judging from his last ladder match, it was 30 minutes ago, so I'm assuming he's probably pretty deep into the game. So it shouldn't be too long, right? It's not like the game just started. Alright, so he is out of the game, and now we have the lobby set up. Just waiting on their player to join the game. Should just be a moment. Sorry about the delay there, guys. Alright, he's here. Any moment now we'll get started. It's going to be a Terran versus Protoss on King Sejong Station. Countdown has begun. Ming, I'm pretty sure you can select the style of your Twitch emotes. Or maybe that's just a Twitch Prime thing, but you're Twitch Prime, so I'm not sure. But I think you can do that in the settings if you take a look. Alright, so the fifth and final game, score is tied 2-2. Alright, so in the bottom right hand corner we have the new player coming out from Psionic Aftermath. The ace player, his name is Jin, the Yellow Terran. And in the top left hand corner we have the ace player coming back from Daily Life. His name is Annihilator, the Green Protoss. So Jin, someone we've used several times in the past for Alpha Team League, showing very strong macro gameplay and late game skill. And haven't seen him on this map though. And Annihilator was the player from the Frozen Temple game earlier, second game, who lost a bunch of probes to Viper in the beginning of the game and then countered with the depths and eventually was able to win the game. If you can recall that game from about an hour ago or so. Cybercore going down, Nexus about halfway finished. Terran has gone for a Reaper expand. Gonna be sending his Reaper out here immediately to scout for proxies. but won't be finding any. Annihilator's probe has turned around, going back home. I was able to look at some stats before the game, and I found out that Annihilator's PvT stats are 53% his best matchup, and Jin's TVP stats are 58%, also his best matchup. So that should be some interesting information to consider as observing this game. Both players in their best matchup. See Robo about finished for the Protoss player. Warp gate halfway down. Reaper gonna come in, see this Adept, and immediately turn around. Doesn't want to lose that yet. Wants to try and get a little bit more information. I wonder if you can still do that Reaper trick where you make yourself jump over with the Reaper. Because Beastie Cutie just did a video about that. You can still do it if it's in this scenario where you do it. Because they changed it. They did a balance patch to where you couldn't just do it like over a depot. But in this scenario where it's like this, you can actually make it go around. And I saw that in a Beastie Cutie video that he uploaded to YouTube like the other day. So I know it's possible, but not sure if Jin knows about that. Warp Prism out now. And Protoss is up to 4 gates at the moment. And also adding a 5th and 6th gate. But I don't see a Twilight Council for his Adept upgrade. But there are 4 Adepts and a Warp Prism moving across the map. And there is a Widow Mine and 6 Marines in this medevac. Dropping into the main base, getting a couple probes. Whoa, that Adept went down like immediately. That's pretty crazy. He started warping an Adept and it immediately went right down. So this warp prism is here. There's a few Marines to deal with that, and a few more Marines about to pop out. There's a total of 8 Adepts here. "13 probes going down in the main base of the Protoss, 13 in total, and 4 SCVs going down so far for the Terran. Wow, 17 probes now. There's also a Widow Mine and a Liberator at the Natural. So Terran has all 35 SCVs at this Natural base. This has gotten into a pretty crazy game right off the get-go. These gateways are all powered down as well. Marines have moved into the Natural. Looks like there's a Widow Mine here. He's gonna get 3 more probes. And looks like the Protoss's base has stabilized somewhat. And the Terran is gonna maybe hold here with the Liberator. And pulling all his SCVs. Looks like, let's see, the Warp Prism's still alive though. He could just warp in more. There's actually 2 Warp Prisms. Wow, so Annihilator's gonna GG out. He was down to 11 probes and Jin still had about 30 SCVs. 26. So that's it. That will be the series. Jin has won the ace match, and we will win the series 3-2. Good game to D-Life. Very impressive play from their players. Unfortunately, their 3rd player wasn't able to show up and play, but you know, it happens. That's the rules of the team league. You have to have your lineup submitted 15 minutes before the matchup. And then if they don't show up, then they just forfeit the point. So that will be it for tonight. Let's see, our next event is actually going to be, we have another ATL match. They're supposed to be like a week apart, but it was rescheduled for Monday. We're going to have an ATL match against Sidestorm, and we have, of course, plenty more Clan Wars coming up all the time. If you have not followed the channel, please go ahead and do that. I want to thank everyone for coming out and viewing and checking this out, watching the Clan War. Greatly appreciated for the support. And that will be it for tonight. So again, thank you and good night, guys. See you guys on Monday.